Good morning. It is Kirsten Liebelt. Good to see you at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thursday. Is today Thursday? It's Thursday. Welcome in, you guys. It's so good to see you. Today in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, we are doing day 4 of the 5-day challenge. So don't miss out on that. Don't miss out. It's really your opportunity to give yourself permission to chunk out a journey. Stop requiring yourself to, on Monday, I'm going cold turkey. I'm going to figure it, like all of that BS. It's just self-sabotage, and it sets you up for frustration, and you don't want that. So get in the group. It's so much fun to be able to walk journey with you guys. Like, this is what we do. Good morning, Terry. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and I basically turned back my own insulin resistance starting in my upper 40s. I absolutely 100,000% should have not been the person in my family that avoided type 2 diabetes. I was gestational diabetic with my first baby. I was hypoglycemic with my second baby. I ate everything white. I was a 2X entering my 50s. Like, I had type 2 written all over my face. And my dad died of type 2 when he was 63 years old. Italian family, like food lovers, emotional connections, heart connections to food. Like, it should not have been me. And yet here I am. My dad took the path of medication in his 50s. I took the path of supplementation in my 50s. He ended up dying at 63. I ended up losing 3 sizes and avoiding type 2 diabetes all the way together instead of doing his route. So I'm just telling you, there's a different path that you can take, and you can choose when you want to start taking that path. And I am here for it all. We started the group like 2 years ago, the Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women group. And it has just been testimony after testimony, and they haven't stopped. They literally haven't stopped coming since we started the group, and I'm just so grateful. So every day we come here 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we talk about insulin resistance because it's turnaroundable. It is reversible. I'm not a doctor. I'm just your girlfriend having a cup of coffee with you. Or like, I have a guy who is I have several guys that are clients or customers, it's like, but mostly I talk to the women, mostly I talk to you guys, and you're my girlfriends. But like last night, I was walking journey with a guy who needs to make a few choices. I'm in Minnesota. He's in Las Vegas. How fun to be able to like connect with people and to hear their stories and to be able to actually help them walk journey. Like, this is very, very exciting. So, I'm going to give you one side note, and then we're going to jump into the conversation today, which is why your favorite protein foods are slowing fat loss and what to eat instead. We talked about this a tiny bit last week. You guys, number one, it was very popular. But number two, I saw somebody do a reel with some very clear information as to how you can know for yourself what is a really good protein for weight loss and what isn't. Like, let's dispel all of the confusion. I was very excited about this to bring to you because I feel like this is content that you're looking for. Magda, good morning, buddy. Magda, good to see you. So the little tiny side note is that the glucose product, it's on back order. So do not panic. Do not panic. But it's on back order. It's not, that doesn't mean it's out of stock. It just means it's on back order. It is a very, very popular product for a reason. Okay. So when you are looking to bring down your food noise, your insulin and your sugars, that's why. Okay. So let me know if you have any questions at all. Get into my messenger, get into my DMs on Instagram, text me if you have questions. If you need anything, most likely it'll go into your cart. You won't even pay for it. And then they'll ship it out when it's back available, right? So don't panic. I've already had conversations this morning, so we're all good, okay? But always just let me know. So today, let's jump into our content. Today at 3:00, we're going to do day number 4 in the group. Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And today is the day that we do go through supplementation. We do a deep dive so you can understand, because I'm telling you, you don't need another marketing package of something, system of something. That's just, that maybe is putting a Band-Aid on something. When I am talking to people about targeting your supplementation, it's specifically for insulin resistance so that you can go from the inside out and have your body produce different results because you're working on something at a cellular level. Just want you to understand. You're working on the pieces that actually give you the results in the end that maybe you've never even thought of, because most people haven't. So it's just like a mechanic knowing underneath your hood about that filter that needs to be changed out, or about that hose that needs to be, tweaked, or that whatever. That's the exact same thing. This is detailing your body so that you get higher performance. And that's where all the testimonies come from. So if you want to know about all the testimonies and how they really, really come forth, that's where you want to be today at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. So when we talk about eating for insulin resistance, the number one thing that we're doing is we're talking about eating foods that do not spike your sugar so that your body calls on insulin, because when you're resistant and your cell is closed, the door is closed, all of that extra insulin becomes just high inflammation, and it also stores body fat. Like, let's just get into the storage business. And that's exactly what you don't want. So it's very frustrating. And you're like, why can't I lose a pound? Why am I bloated all the time? Why am I feeling like I can just feel the inflammation in my body? Like, what the heck? I just, as a little something here, for any of you that are on the turmeric from this line, my husband and I were both out of the turmeric and the magnesium. Don't ask. Do not ask. How does this happen to me? I should be the one that this doesn't happen to. But I miscalculated what we needed in our cupboard. And so for, maybe a good solid week, I hate to admit that, maybe 10 days, we were out of turmeric and magnesium, you guys. I even had a lady give me a voice text yesterday, and she's like, that magnesium, she said, my leg cramps are gone. Like, this is amazing. I tried what the doctor told me to buy. I bought it. It was crap. I think she actually said crap. And she's like, this is a game changer, right? So, but that turmeric, you guys, if you have high inflammation in your body, most turmerics are not absorbable. Wow. My body I feel like I'm back. I can't even tell you how much that helps anything in my body. Okay. So when we're choosing foods and we talk about keto, and you know how I feel about that, because there's so much bad information out there. There's so much misinformation out there. It became like a fad, and that doesn't help you. So if you're wanting to use keto so that you can keep your blood sugar stable, which is what it'll help you to do completely. But you're also wanting to lose weight at the exact same time. You want to be like in fat loss mode. Like, this is how I went from a 2X down to a large in my 50s after my cycle stopped. You know what? I revved up my engine. I got my body functioning again. I used targeted supplementation. I traded out my food ingredients. But as I traded out my foods, I had to tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak. But now, today in 2025, I have the understanding of why I was having to tweak a certain way so that I can give you that information, so that I can hand that off to you. So when I saw this guy's reel talking about kind of a formula, so to speak, about how to view protein, I was like, this is exactly what I want to bring to you guys. So you might be doing foods like protein, but they are secretly packed with fat. We talked about this a little bit last week, and calories instead. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to tell the difference. This is so cool. And why it matters if you're trying to lose weight, shrink belly fat, or just feel better. Okay. This one shift literally can change everything. This is really cool. And so here we go. So not all protein is created equal. And he starts out talking about, Matt, good to see you. How are you doing on your 200-acre farm? Good morning, Phyllis. You need recipe using ripe bananas. Yeah, see, Phyllis, that's the deal. Ripe bananas are super duper 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 high in sugar. I only do berries for fruit. I only do berries. Drinking your strawberry protein smoothie with gut primer. Go, girl. Yes. Phyllis, that is so good to see that you're using the gut primer and you're doing a strawberry protein smoothie. That's really, really good. Ditch the bananas though. Put in banana extract instead. Okay. If you want that banana taste, those ripe bananas are really going to spike your sugars right to the moon. So just kind of a little FYI. I know it's one ingredient, trade out at a time. I get it. I get it. So let's compare 20 grams of protein from different foods. Okay. This is what he laid out. So they all sound the same, but watch this. Okay. So we're going to do 20 grams of protein on 6 foods. Okay. So it's not about portion size. This is about how much protein is in each food that we're going to talk about. Okay. So 20 grams of peanut butter, 20 grams of protein in peanut butter. And I know we talk about being legume free, but just track with me for a minute because this is the thought process that people have, whether it's peanut butter or almond butter or cashew butter. We feel like that's a protein sometimes, and we have to differentiate. So 20 grams of protein in peanut butter is 575 calories. Okay, so to get 20 grams of protein in peanut butter, 575. To get 20 grams of protein in almonds, 550. To get 20 grams of protein in salmon, 185. Wow, boom, huge drop, right? 20 grams of protein in steak, 180. 20 grams of protein in cottage cheese, another level down, 144. 20 grams of protein in chicken breast, boom, 95. Okay. Are you starting to see this pattern, right? Because I understand and I teach it all the time. I teach it, I preach it. We talk about it every single month in our 5-day insulin resistant reset challenge that we've done now for 2 years straight to give you a path to run on. We talk about how the ideology of our society that has taught us calories in, calories out, that's all that matters, it's bad information. However, calories do play a role. So you just have to understand why. If you're being told calories in, calories out is all that matters, and so therefore you are thinking that you can have 1,200 calories of cookies for the day and you're good to go, you're really super duper fooling yourself because all that's doing is spiking your sugars, calling on insulin and storing fat. So you're like, you can't even keep your head above water. You're like, oh, but I'm not eating hardly anything. I know, right? But you're spiking your sugars and you're not getting in the protein that you need. Okay. So here though, let's talk about calories in the right way, the right proper mental understanding of how to insert calories into this conversation. All right, so a quick rule of thumb is this. Take the protein grams. This is so good, you guys, don't miss this, and multiply by 10. If the result is more than the calorie count of food, it's a great protein source. Okay, so here we go. For instance, if you take a chicken breast, okay, so all of these are going to be 200. You're going to multiply by 10, and it's 200 is the answer for all 6 foods because they're all 20 grams of protein. Now compare it to the calories. This is where you now know if you are eating protein that is nice and high in protein, but also helpful for fat loss, helpful for weight loss. So 200, we make the 20 times 10, 200, and the chicken breast was 95. Excellent source of protein for weight loss, stable blood sugars. And notice that there's no grain in here because we are grain free. And other than the peanut butter, we're legume free because those are really high in carbs. Okay. So you'll notice there's no grain. We're not getting our proteins from grain when we're insulin resistant. That's the pickle of it all. Okay. For some people. So 200 is way more than the 95 calories in the chicken breast. But if you go to the peanut butter, 200, way low because the calories are 575. Are you tracking? So let's look through those. 200 is more than the cottage cheese of 144 calories. Green light. 200 is more than the 180 in steak. Green light. 200 is more than the calories in salmon. green light. 200 is way lower than the calories in almonds, 550. I want to know if you guys are tracking this. Are you understanding? Because this is the most simplistic thing. Meg, good to see you. You're taking care of your family, Matt. I love that. I love that so much. It's really good to see you. I want to know if that's making sense, because this could really erase a lot of the noise about all of the keto, blah, 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 that's out there. So if somebody starts to eat like for their blood sugars, and listen, no judgment over here at all. It took me 3 to 4 years to trade out my foods. I was a little bit of a slow person. So it took me a while, and I had to assess the things that really mattered to me. And I had to ask myself questions, and I had to identify emotional triggers or mental triggers or whatever. And I know you guys are on the same journey. So at the very beginning of my journey, I was probably eating a lot of keto treats that were made with a lot of fill in the blank almond flour. Now, of course, I still have a keto treat every now and then. I mean, whatever. However, if you can tweak it a little further and not have as much, because almonds are high calorie for the protein availability. Peanut butter is high calorie for the protein availability. Okay. So it really does make a huge difference. So you think, I'm eating right, I'm eating clean, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And usually there are 2 reasons why people are having a hard time losing weight when they're doing a kind of a keto diet. Number 1, they're eating keto, wink, wink. We are a marketing team, wink, wink, marketed products. Keto bread doesn't exist. Not if it has grain. Just telling you, that's not the truth about whether or not it's going to spike your blood sugars, etc. Okay. So keto bread or keto this and keto, like all of the keto cereals, all of the keto, sometimes there are keto granolas. Some of them are good, some of them are not. But again, they're going to be high in calorie for the protein count. Okay, so you just have to know a few things. So the first thing is eating keto products that are really kind of a joke. And the second thing is eating way too many calories because maybe you've bought into have fat bombs in your freezer and put butter in your coffee in the morning, and you can have as many keto treats as you want. And it's a good first step to switch out. It is. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't be hard on yourself. Don't be mean girl. Don't be mean girl or mean guy, Matt. But don't be mean to yourself. However, be mindful. Be mindful of needing to switch out a few things. So for instance, now, like I made the flourless chocolate lava cake in the group in the month of May. It does not have almond flour in it. So that makes me very happy. But I'm not stupid. It has like a cup of butter in it. So it's a very high fat, but it's still a really good treat choice. You just don't eat tons and tons and tons of it, right? And I know that can feel confusing sometimes, but I'm just here to tell you, you will be so pleasantly surprised if you will make a few of these adjustments. So let's just go through a couple of examples so that you can kind of understand. So a quick rule of thumb is to take the protein grams, multiply it by 10, and then see where it is in regards to calories of that same food. And you want to have more protein than calories in any given food. Okay. So here we go. So maybe you're standing in the pantry and you're grabbing a spoonful of peanut butter, and you might be thinking to yourself, hey, it's got protein. I mean, I do this to my brain too. Like, you're not the only one. But it's 200 calories for just 7 grams of protein. That adds up fast, and it won't fill you up the way real protein does. So peanut butter is not a protein, it's a fat. Just know what you're doing, okay? Number 2, smoothie mistakes. Super interesting that Phyllis was bringing up smoothie, because that's one of my examples today. You add almond butter to your smoothie thinking it's helping your protein goal, but it's mostly fat and calories. Now you've made a 500 calorie snack that just leaves you hungry. Okay. And then maybe something like this. You're out to lunch and you have the option between grilled salmon or a quinoa almond salad, which we don't do grain anyway. But guess which one actually supports your fat loss goals better? The one with more protein per calorie. So it's the salmon. Okay. So this is your challenge. Start checking not just how much protein is in a food, because we do like that. We like to look at the protein count. And I do talk about that all the time. Like when I post my, what I had for breakfast. Let's see, what was my breakfast today? I had 2 eggs and an Amy Lou chicken sausage, a slice of cheese, and an Oikos yogurt. And it was 45 grams of protein. That to me is very, very good, very helpful. I will now be hungry for hours. What does that mean? What does that mean for me? What does that mean for you? That means that when I don't open my mouth and put food in it again for a long period of time, I'm not raising my insulin. So that's very beneficial. Does that make sense? So basically, how many calories are you spending to get the protein that you are getting in? So if you're serious about fat loss and feeling better, you have to focus on lean, efficient sources of protein that give you the most fuel without the extra baggage. Okay. And I feel like there is a difference between having, because somebody will say, but what about carnivore? Carnivore is a different conversation, okay? And so then because this is the guy I was talking to last night, and we were talking about carnivore, and it's like, there are really good people out there teaching carnivore, and if that's a route that you want to go down, he happens to have really high blood sugars and needs to get them down fast. Carnivore is a really good option. Then the fat content is a different conversation, okay? Just to let you know. Matt says his chickens must be talking about My chickens must be talking with you about protein need. In 41 days, 10 chickens laid 270 eggs. That is so funny. Golly. I need to come to your house, Matt. I need to book a flight to Tennessee. That's so exciting. Oh, I love farm fresh eggs. Man, oh man, there is just nothing quite like that. So I hope this is really helpful to you. I really do. I hope that you can take that now and you can stand in the grocery store and you can say, okay, well, I know that this has protein in it and that's good. However, let me take the protein count, times it by 10. So just add a 0. That's all you're doing. And then see where that lies in comparison to the calories of the same serving. Okay. And then you're going to know. Now, today in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, what we are going to do is we're doing day 4 of the 5-day insulin resistant reset challenge. And that means that we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into the supplementation. Okay. And so I always talk to everybody about the total body reset and how there are 3 pillars, and you can choose. You can kind of mix and match your pillars, or you can do all of it. You have to ask yourself where you are in your need to accelerate whatever it is you're looking to do. Somebody who is looking to really get, you're looking to lose weight because you have an event coming up, you need to lose inches to fit into an outfit better, etc. You need to get your gut healed and sealed. You need to get your sugars down. You need to do I need all of it. Kirsten, I need all of it. Then that is the total body reset. But you can always break things up. And this is where it's really beneficial that you have access to me. Having access to just ask me so that you can make a good decision is really worth a lot. Now, I will say this, that you can easily always make sure, number one, that you register with your name for your free customer account, because then down the road, even if you're only buying something small right now and you're going to get the better shipping, which is like $4.99. But then if you're registered with your name, you're going to get free shipping at $139, and then over $150. That's when you're getting the big bonus back to you. So $150 purchased for 3 months in a row. On your 3rd month, you get $75 off and back to you. Don't miss out on that if that's in what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. If it's not, no big deal. Don't worry about it. But if it is, just be mindful so you don't lose out on something. I just really don't want anybody to miss out on something if that was your goal. Okay. So the total body reset is a very, very simple process. It is literally the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This is where I started when I was 2X in size. The other pieces that I'm going to show you right here, these were not launched yet. So don't feel bad if you're only doing the trio, okay? But if you just need higher acceleration, and if you're in Canada, I apologize. This is all that is, the trio is available. The other pieces haven't launched yet in Canada. So the trio are 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity, and you can start just right here, okay? If you need to deal with your gut, you don't have a gallbladder, leaky gut, you have digestion issues, you're tired of your tummy feeling really like trash, and your whole gut is kind of messed up. I have somebody that has short gut syndrome, people that have constipation, indigestion, all of that. It's all gut related. If you have skin issues, it's your gut. If you are sad, 90% of your serotonin is in your gut. If you are taking a lot of scripts, or you're taking, a lot of over the counter, like, your gut needs help. This is why we're kind of in a mess. We're in a quandary a little bit. So that's the gut reset protocol. That's the primer, completely different than just a greens product and a probiotic. Okay, that's the gut reset. That's pillar number 2. And then pillar number 3 is adding in the fat burner, the pixie stick that I call it. It tastes like orange candy. It's a clinical dose of an extract, and it targets your visceral fat. So if that's you, you have visceral fat. You also know you want to lose inches so that your clothes fit differently. Go 90 days on, 30 days off. You put it on your, put it on your tongue every morning. 90 days on, 30 days off. So 1 month is a box, just to let you know. But all of these put together, this is the total body reset. All of it together, okay? But we can start where you need to start. That's not a problem. But in the group today, I'm going to dive into why these things are helping. How is it that you can literally lift up the hood of your car, of your body, and you can actually detail it like you do a car? You would never, ever drive a brand new car off the lot and not return to your mechanic for 100,000 miles. You would never do that. But that's where we are with our bodies. If you're not 25 and you've been riding your body since, for me, it was to my upper 40s, almost 50. And then we wonder why we end up on scripts. Remember yesterday we talked about how to end up on 9 prescriptions and how to turn that back. It's because the very base of everything we talk about is insulin resistance. Everything is about insulin resistance. I just can't even, when I first started to understand this, I'm like, this can't possibly be true. This cannot possibly be true that this is the base of every conversation. And again, I'm being very, maybe that's being dramatic to say every, but I still am like, it's mind-boggling, the connections between insulin resistance and freaking everything. And yet nobody is dealing with this when we go to the doctor. They're not even pulling a fasting insulin test. What is going on? They just wait until all of your labs fail. And then they say, here's a script for you, and here's a script for you, and here's a script for you, and here. That's like their protocol. That's their MO. That's what they do. Okay. So we have a lot of a different agenda as opposed to you wanting to take back your health and have a different result. Have a good day, Matt. You go, go, go. So when you understand that the base of everything is insulin resistance, this gets so simple. All the noise falls away. You're like, oh man, clarity. So you're telling me that my insulin resistance is causing and or connected to, because of course, I'm not a doctor, blah, blah, blah. PCOS and fatty liver and type 2 and gout and high blood pressure and heart disease. And they've told you everything else is the problem. Nope. It's metabolic dysfunction. And we have to fix metabolic dysfunction at the cellular level. So if you need to understand that better so that you can get on a different routine and regimen, I actually have a path where they're going to pay you to take care of yourself. That's amazing. So hold on. You eat lean meat, chicken breast without the skin, and eggs. as main protein sources. That's terrific. You take around 200 grams, a bit less, a bit more every day. What do you think of? I think that's fantastic. So let me just see here. So I eat lean meat, chicken breast without the skin, and eggs as main protein sources. And I love that because you're eating the yolk of the egg. I love that because our hormones have to have fat. Okay. But when you have a lot of fat to lose off of your body, there has to be this balance going on. That's just the FYI of it. And you take around 200 grams of protein a day. I think that's great. I don't know what your goal weight is for protein. Oftentimes that's a really good gauge, but to be really honest, there are people doing even more than that. And, if we would just focus on protein and not all of the fad products, we would be so much better off. I'm just telling you. So we'll be back here again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time talking about insulin resistance. In the group today, it's at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll do the supplementation today, the deep dive, and then tomorrow we're going to do the recipe. And so it's always fun to have recipe day, okay? And if you need anything, let me know, especially if you have questions about the fact that the glucose product is on back order. I've already been fielding questions this morning. I'm telling you, it's just that good of a product. That's all I'm going to say. That's truly, this has been the journey for the last couple of years where it'll kind of go in and out. It's just supply and demand. So, and I didn't say this at the beginning, and I should have, because probably not as many people are, on to listen and hear me say this, but I actually do stock it in my house. So if there's ever a situation where you need to purchase directly from me and have me ship it to you, I actually have it on hand. So just to let you know. All right. Have the best day ever. Oh, hold on. I'm going to read one more thing. You eat 200 grams of protein, 130 to 150. Oh, so I can tell you're not from the United States because I don't know how to do all the metric conversions. Okay. If you are insulin resistant, that's really, really high carbs. The carbs that I teach, let's do this just really quickly. So think about protein in terms of your body weight in grams. Sorry, your goal weight in grams. Then take your fat and bring that maybe about medium, and your carbs way, way down. But it depends on what your goals are. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Insulin resistance, you've got to stop spiking your sugars and calling on insulin. So 20 to 30 max a day. Nothing net, none of that baloney. Hey, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, listen to the replay. That would be great. Good to see you. So, yeah, I do not necessarily think that's a great whatever plan, but you probably don't need to exercise that much, and you probably don't need that many grams of carbs every day. The fat's not bad, though, and the protein is nice, but the carbs are high. Those are the carbs that are told to us, like in the United States. Our doctors would tell us that. This is why I'm just going to come on here and talk as much as I possibly can, because when you are a type 2 diabetic, you don't have to be. But if you are, and they're telling you you can have 45 grams of carbs per meal, run. What they mean to say is you can have 45 grams of carbs per meal. If you would like to be medicated, stay medicated, or up the level of your medication. That's actually what they mean to say. They just keep on forgetting to finish the sentence. That's how I feel. You need to learn this. Can you give me the willpower? Ha ha ha, my body wants sugar all the time. In my opinion, the 130 grams of carbs is way, way, way too much. Jody, good to see you. So you know what happens, Jennifer, is when you start focusing on proteins, like you just go back and listen to the replay. When I get off of here, just go right back to the beginning where I'm talking about 6 different types of protein choices and how they relate to calories and what is a good choice of protein, what is a bad choice. when you begin to really focus on protein like that, your cravings actually can come into submission quite a bit. And that sugar craving can begin to decrease. Now, if you need to accelerate, I'm going to tell you, if I don't know if you're on the trio or not, Jennifer. I don't think so. But when you're on the trio, that really helps with food noise and sugar cravings. So I'm just telling you, it's a little bit of a natural O, if you know what I mean. The OZ. It's like having a little bit of natural OZ. So yeah, do that. And then that will probably help you. All right. Have a great day, you guys. I can't wait to see you at 3 if you're in the group. That'll be a really, really fun time.